Babajide Sanwo-Olu at the Adiyan 2 water project. And this is bringing us to, an insightful conversation this morning on this segment where we'll be focusing on provision of portable water here in Lagos. For many years, residents have resorted, to boreholes, wells and water vendors as they have struggled with lack of pipe-borne water. However, with the Lagos State government commitment to revitalizing the water sector, particularly the Adiyan Phase 2 Water Works project, there is hope for a lasting solution. This morning, we're joined by engineer Mukhtar Tijani. He's the managing director of the Lagos State Water Corporation. He'll be shedding light on the state's plans, progress, and what residents can expect in the near future. You're welcome.
Thank you, ma. Good morning.
Good morning. So let's go back to how it used to be. Lagos once had a strong pipe-borne water system. What happened? What went wrong?
Thank you. Good morning once again. Good morning to our viewers. So directly to your question, the existence of pipe-borne water in Lagos, it's something that a lot of us are quite familiar with. Mm-hmm. Even people my age remembered when we were younger and we had access to standpipes, living in Lagos Island, you could drink directly from the pipes, the water that was being produced from the Lagos State Water Corporation. Mm-hmm. And, infrastructure that was there then still mostly exists. A lot of those plants were built many, many decades ago. And as you know, for infrastructure, you must constantly maintain them and even build on them, considering the growth of the population of Lagos State. So to meet that demand, you must be moving just in line with the plan, the master plan of the state, to build more water works to meet the teeming population. So the population growth obviously outstripped the infrastructure. That's why we are here trying to ensure we close that gap now with the completion of the Adiyan 2 water treatment plant.
Okay, so what are the major obstacles you're facing, in providing 24/7, water supply in Lagos? The major obstacles.
Like I just mentioned, the infrastructure gap is there.
It's number one.
It's the number one issue. Like I said, the infrastructure that we have, Lagos Water Corporation was started in 1905. The first water treatment plant at Iju was commissioned in 1915. It's gone through a series of upgrades and it's currently 45 million gallons of water production capacity per day. Adiyan 1, the Adiyan 2 that you just showed Mr. Governor's working visit to, there was an Adiyan 1 and the plan was for Adiyan 1, Adiyan 2 and Adiyan 3. Adiyan 1 was commissioned in 1991 to produce 70 million gallons per day with adjoining infrastructure then by the World Bank. Adiyan 2 was supposed to have started construction in 2012 for a 3-year period. A lot of events happened that has made that completion of 2016 unrealizable. And I need to give major recognition to Mr. Governor for his commitment and putting action behind his words of ensuring everything that can be done is being done to meet this water demand gap of Lagos State. So Adiyan 2, which when completed will be the largest water treatment plant in combination with Adiyan 1 in West Africa for sure, and possibly one of the largest in Africa. And this will provide potable water, just Adiyan 2 alone, to about 3 million residents of Lagos State. So there's a lot of work for us to do. It's not just completing the plant. There's infrastructure that needs to be built, pipelines built to homes, and final tertiary connections to homes and meters, and even the customer service and payment platform is also a huge amount of infrastructure, albeit sometimes it'll be virtual, but it's a lot of work that has to be done for us to cover that gap. And the population is growing
It
every
keeps
day.
growing,
It's
yeah.
not, it's not a fixed target.
Okay, we've talked about completion. What is the, should I say estimated or for sure, time this project will be completed?
So Adiyon 2, like I mentioned, suffered a lot of delays from foreign exchange fluctuations, which obviously state government doesn't have a lot of control over. Soon as Mr. Governor resumed, like I mentioned, in 2019, on the 10th of October, him and the Deputy Governor and high-ranking members of the State Executive Council visited all the major water treatment plants in the state, which are Iju, Adiyon, and Akute, where the raw water is drawn from.
Okay.
And the interest was obvious, and moves were made to ensure the contractor was brought back to site. And not long after that, we suffered from the lockdown again from COVID, which shut down the plant for another period of time.
Yeah.
But last year, third quarter last year, we had a series of meetings, major engagements, and now the contractor is back to site, and construction is ongoing as we speak, as you could have seen in the video. So the raw water line, which is a major part of the plant, which actually takes water from the river at Akute, the river Ogun. It's about 8 kilometers long to the water treatment plant. That will be completed this year.
Okay.
And after that, we'll be left with just electromechanical equipment, fixing those, and then completing the construction work at the water treatment plant, which is also ongoing. So we're expecting, if things go according to plan, and we all meet the agreed obligations in the next 24 to 36 months, we can have completed Adiyon 2.
Okay, we're still on the completion. Mr. Governor mentioned earlier that since the Adiyon Phase 2 Water Works project is 80% complete and will provide 70 million gallons of water daily. So how will this water be distributed? Will it be in phases, and which areas will now benefit first from this distribution?
Thank you. So I was going into that, but I didn't want to get excessively technical.
Okay.
But now that you've asked, I can probably give it more detail as to the distribution infrastructure. So the water treatment plant is one thing. Getting the water into our homes is another thing. So there will be another job that needs to be done for reticulation. That is moving the water from the water treatment plant with large diameter pipes, ductile iron pipes, HDPE pipes, into our homes. Adiyon 2 is designed for distribution, was focused more on the Lagos West and some parts of Ikorodu and some parts of Lagos East. Adiyon 1 currently serves Ikeja, Isherioke, Ogudu, Oworoshoki, down the spine of Lagos, down to Yaba, Ebute Metta, where it meets with Iju also and goes into the island. But Adiyon 2, the plan is to start serving starting from Lagos West region. But as we are doing these engineering constructions, Adiyon 1 also is also being upgraded. Like I mentioned, it was commissioned in 1991. So you can imagine it will also need some attention. So we're trying to see how we can even boost the supply to Adiyon 1's region, who currently don't even enough being fully served, as you know. So as we're boosting that supply to Adiyon 1's region, we are working on the reticulation for Adiyon 2. So once that is ready, we can serve both regions, with a new plant and a upgraded Adiyon 1.
Oh, okay. My colleague, Abimbola, has a question for you.
Okay.
Engineer, I'd like to ask, Lagos is vast. Lagos is really big. And I like the fact that you just seconds ago mentioned where Adiyon actually, is concentrated. And so we have Iju Waterworks. I'm correct. We do have another smaller waterworks in Ishasi. So take us through other waterworks in Lagos and where they serve, and how those other waterworks are expected to complement Adiyon Phase 2 when completed.
Thank you. Like you mentioned, we have the Adiyon, the water treatment scheme, with Adiyon 1 and Adiyon 2 that is ongoing. Iju is also there, is our oldest water treatment plant. And then Isashi, like you mentioned, Isashi was just being rehabilitated. It was completed the fourth quarter of last year.
Okay.
So Isashi is producing at capacity now. It's serving the environs around the Lasu, Iba estate. And we're trying to see how we can extend it to even Festac. We're speaking to the federal government on that because the estate is owned by the federal government essentially. But areas around Lasu and Iba are currently being served by Isashi, barring some few small distribution rectifications we're doing. Now, in addition to that, there are 48 micro and mini water treatment plants around the state. The micro and mini water treatment plants take their water from deep boreholes, industrial boreholes. We have several of them. We have in literally every local government in the state where there is at least one or more micro and mini water treatment plants. These are also at varying capacities of operations now. We have, I can speak of at least the one in Lekki that's currently serving the people in the environs of the water treatment plant. We have at least 1,000+ customers in Lekki getting water from us. And I know this because some of them were able to get payments. We get complaints from customers about sometimes the quality, sometimes the frequency. So we are working with them, but at least that gives us assurances that they are receiving our services. This morning, I still got a message from a customer in Bagada Phase 2 Estates that they got water with good pressure yesterday.
Wow.
So, yeah, so we indeed have a good amount of customers around the state. Obviously not what it used to be, not enough. But again, considering the size of the state, if you're not doing something that benefits 3, 4, 5 million people, it easily gets swept under the radar. But there's a lot of good work we're doing at the Water Corporation to meet our mandate.
But are you able to put a percentage to the number of Lagos residents at the moment that have been supplied potable water directly from the government? Is that possible to give an overview of if you were to curate like a percentage of Lagos residents that are currently, on your schedule?
Thank you. So that's somewhat a moving target, but I will tell you the figure that I know that we are connected to. So our reticulation covers 44% of the state.
44%?
Yes, the water reticulation infrastructure covers 44% of the state. It's not every day, every one of those pipes gets water.
Okay.
So the number of people that get water on a daily, weekly, monthly varies, right? And it's not very easy to get a grip on that because we also need to upgrade the network intelligence of our infrastructure. That's another thing that is in our current strategic plan. And by the third quarter of this year, we'll have a GIS system showing where all our pipes are, where all our customers are, where water is passing through, how much water is passing through where. So we're building a dashboard that will have essentially like meters at critical junctures, and we can sit here and look and see exactly where the water is going. Okay.
All right. Adebimpe.
Okay. My next question is about maintenance and sustainability of these projects, bearing in mind what the sector has been through. So what are these measures of sustainability and maintenance of this facility?
So, regarding sustainability is the end game of every utility. That's where everyone that provides a utility, particularly public utility, where it wants to be. And sustainability simply means you are able to cover your costs without relying on subsidies or subventions from the government in most cases. So that's what we're driving towards, ensuring that we are able to meet our costs sustainably to keep the corporation afloat. And this means a lot of things. Number one thing for me that I'll take this opportunity to do is stakeholder engagement. I want to speak directly to the audience, and if you are receiving water from the corporation, we have numbers we can share with you on our X and handle, on our website, lagoswater.org. Reach out to us so that we have you on our system, and ensure that we are serving you properly. So we need to get a good head count of our customers so we know we can plan and ensure that we are providing you the correct and quality of service you desire. And if you see any leaks, if you notice any anomalies with the water system, please also on those same numbers or those social media handles, you can reach out to us. We'll be able to address them quickly. But in a nutshell, we're still being constantly, because water all over the world is not just here, is seen as a social good, even from the United Nations.
Water is
Yes, yes, water is life. You
Water
can't
is
do
life.
without water. So coming from a commercial perspective, you usually get some resistance, because there's a strong belief that water is a right, in fact, in some realms. So meeting sustainability will constantly need support, from usually state government, sometimes foreign donor agencies, and even, like I said, with your support also, we can strive towards sustainability. But sustainability, again, is something utilities strive to achieve.
Okay, we'll need to go on a short break and go to Ajeromi Ifelodu on our segment of This is Lagos.
For the past 1 year or so now, unlike before, the waste disposal has actually come to a reasonable form. More like people now dispose dirt properly, and we easily get truck coming to carry the dirt and take it as quick as possible.
The security situation is good, and economic situation too is improving, and social life too is waking up.
If there's road, the school is going on well. The health care is going on well. I mean, everything is going on well.
staying with us. That was at Jeremy Ifelodun community, and of course they are also looking forward to having access to portable water supply. We still have the Managing Director, Lagos State Water Corporation, Mukhtar Tijani, here with us. Now that Lagosians are looking forward to portable water supply from the state government, will the government be introducing new tariffs? Because I remember as far back as 2016, 2017, when we still had, water, we had, we were paying at least something. It wasn't too much, but we were paying something. So will the state government be introducing like tariffs when we start to get water?
Thank you. So again, maybe I'll use this opportunity to launch the subject of tariffs.
Okay.
The easy answer to your question is yes.
I hope it won't be too high.
No, it won't be. It will be. It will definitely be comparable, if not cheaper, to what you are paying now. However, you're getting alternative sources of water, but I can guarantee you our water will be of better quality than whatever you're getting now.
Drink
you will be able
like
to
we
drink
used
it.
to do.
Yes. Part of the work we do, we have a water quality assurance team that actually goes to customer homes to test the quality of the final water that comes out of the tap. Obviously, we test it at the plant, we test it on the way, but we have another team that goes and random tests the water at the customer's end also. So we can vouch for the quality of the water we'll be giving out. But back to your tariff question. So, I mean, if I will tie it back into sustainability, right? You can imagine we need a cost-reflective tariff to ensure our business is sustainable. I would also like to mention there is a regulator in the water sector, the Lagos State Water Regulatory Authority. And they also play a significant role in this tariff setting methodology. How tariffs are set is the utility would calculate its costs of producing the water and then come up with the cost per cubic meter of water. And then the regulator would also interact with the customers and also the utility to ensure these tariffs are also acceptable. You have to ensure the customer you are giving the tariff can pay the tariff. That's what you want. You don't want to expend even more resources chasing the tariffs than you are even collecting. So it's a whole it's a few steps that go into the tariff setting, but another critical component of this tariff is the meter. So we are also ensuring that customers will be metered so that whatever you consume, you are aware you consumed it, and then you will be more willing to pay this tariff. So a lot of work is going to be done in our short-term. We have a short-term business plan that will run over the next 5 years, and then during this period we'll see a lot of improvements in our network, a lot of injection of best in-class business uses and models that we'll see from all parts of Africa as to how water utilities have been sustained. I can point at a few places where they've done some significant reforms, and we can see the results is yielded. So we're taking in some of these engaging consultants to show us how we can better serve Lagosians with portable water. Water is a commercial commodity, clearly, because if people are into the business now and they are thriving, right? So we must also see how
basic.
Yes, it's basic, exactly. So we must see how we can balance this too. That's why we are the Lagos Water Corporation.
Abimbola has
okay. I probably had my own set of questions, but I think I would just like to sustain this particular one. Though you've agreed that water is basic, but when you talk about water rates and payment of levies here in Lagos, and then you're also looking at the system of metering the public, and then that also will help you maintain or measure what you're consuming here. But at the moment, take us through what is currently on ground. How do you get your water rate? Because I particularly do not have potable water in my house. I do borehole. And so how do you get bills? How do you serve your customers their bills? And take us through the process, the complaints process, because if I'm not getting served by the public water works, and do I still get a bill? Do I still pay that bill? And so what is the channel of complaint that your customers are open to? That's one. A follow-up to that, let me quickly ask the second one. I hope you remember. Urbanization. How has that either helped or marred your service to Lagos residents? On a daily basis, new sites are springing up, you know, in Lagos, either in urban area or a city center. So the network process, how do we get connected to the public water supply?
Okay, thank you. So I'll start off with the question about the water rates. So we have an approved tariff now, albeit aged. We have an approved tariff that we're using to bill our current customers, right? That went through the process I was describing. So it will differ from place to place, as you can imagine. We have even a flat rate tariff for some places that that maybe meters are not on ground yet. So the approved tariff, it differs, like I said, but I know it's between 200 and 350 naira per cubic meter. So that's the approved tariff. Everybody selling you water, from the tankers to the cart pushers, are charging you upwards of 2,000 naira per cubic meter, if you want to compare. So our approved tariff that we're charging today is about 1/10 of what any commercial...
If you were buying.
Yes.
From other water vendors.
From the next cheapest source of unverified water you are purchasing. So now moving on to the next question about the urban growth and I guess, you know, to some extent gentrification. So it's a big problem, right? And it's a problem that I think we have to look at more internally than anything else. Like I mentioned before, the population has exploded in Lagos State, and we have not built our infrastructure to keep up with the growing population. So even worse is that sometimes in extension of this infrastructure by, in some cases, other ministries and agencies of government, we have interruptions to our service pipes, you know. So other agencies could be building a road, bridge, you know, drainages, rail lines, and sometimes we get our infrastructure damaged. And once customers are cut off, before long, if we don't respond on time to repair or replace the damages, then everybody just finds a solution and drills a borehole. And it makes that even more difficult for us to win back those customers. So that's why I mentioned there's currently a project that we're doing for network intelligence, right? Because clearly nobody can tell me with factually exactly where all the pipes are. So we've had to do a new, what we call ground truthing where the pipes are. So there are maps, as-built maps, but these as-built maps, like I mentioned, some of them are close to 100 years old. So we need to recheck and reassure ourselves that indeed a pipe of this size, of this type, is existing this deep under the ground. So that will require literally sending like a robot through all the entire pipe system to double check and ensure that indeed this is what we still have underground. And after that, we will now, like I said, meter critical places. So we know exactly where the water is going and we know where to extend our network to.
Will this also, you know, deal with like water theft, illegal connections, you know, by people, you know, to you know, cut corners? Definitely,
definitely. I mean, it's so when I started about almost 2 years ago now, we did something, right? We decided to run some pressure tests on the system. So we literally blocked out some, we closed some valves in some areas, and then we pressure tested a region, like just pushed the water directly to Ikeja. And we were seeing leaks in places that people never knew we had pipes. You understand? So that's what necessitated the need to do this ground truthing. Because indeed, there's been no document or no drawings that has really showed us precisely where our pipes are. So even Adinyo 2 and the water treatment plant is one animal. This reticulation system that, like she mentioned earlier, we have buildings down on top of it, we have rail lines and roads cutting through them everywhere. Is another monster that must be tamed. And we have to just try and take it step by step.
Okay.
You know, so like I said, technology will help us. We're reaching out to consultants that have done it in the region, in all other parts of Africa, and we need to just take our time and get this thing done properly once and for all. You don't want to rush in and rush back out of it.
Okay. Now, for some homes that have, cut away state water, to enjoy their boreholes, when eventually, they have access to potable, how will they, navigate that? Because they have cut off completely from the Lagos State water pipes.
No, we'll reconnect them, and we will explain to them what the benefits are of getting the water directly from us. And I'm quite confident that no one really enjoys maintaining a submersible pump or constantly changing your filters for your buying possibly water treatment reagents and all these other things when you are not in the business of that, right? So I would expect any reasonable person, knowing if Water Corporation is providing you water reliably, of better quality, probably at a cheaper rate, should embrace it.
Okay.
So like I said, we'll be doing a lot of stakeholder engagement during the course of this year, in addition to all the technical improvements we're doing. And I think it's just important to, as best we can, let people know that we're going to be moving into areas, maybe not everywhere at the same time, right? But as soon as we know we'll be coming to your area, the CDAs, CSOs, local governments, everybody will be notified.
Okay, someone just sent a message.
Okay.
Not a question that he lives in Lekki Ekpe axis, and that the water running there is brownish. That what are you doing towards ensuring that is corrected?
So Lekki Ekpe axis is a huge region. Okay, we indeed supply some parts of Lekki that I'm very aware of, and but if you halfway down that way down towards Ajah, Ibamade, we don't have infrastructure there just yet.
Just yet.
Just yet.
Okay.
Yes. There's discussions of building a water treatment plant in Ekpe to even serve coming back towards the island.
Okay.
So the brownish water is probably from his borehole, and we're also very concerned about that, and we are working to see how we can supply that very important and highly commercial access with water.
Okay. The final question
Yes.
from Adibola.
Before we go, excuse me, I know that both of you, that there's a high possibility that you're both under the ministry or coordinated by the Ministry of Environment. That is your office and that of the Lagos State Water Management. So what's the relationship? Do you work together at any point? That is Water Corporation and the Wastewater Management Office? Yes,
so we're both under the same ministry, like you mentioned. Engineer Femi Afolabi is the General Manager for the Lagos State Wastewater Office. And just like the name mentions, right, he deals more with treating of the used or wastewater that you discharge from your homes and businesses. Lagos Water Corporation deals more with delivering potable water into your facilities. The infrastructures are quite different in a lot of places, and in fact I haven't found anywhere else where the two offices have been separated like in Lagos. But every other place I've read about or visited on a working visit have both working under the same office, essentially.
Okay.
Okay. Just one message for Lagosians on the future of access to potable water in Lagos.
Okay. Well, we are working very hard to upgrade our infrastructure, and we want you to support the Lagos Water Corporation, and we'll be connecting to your facility hopefully sooner than later. And if you see any leaks, bursts, or anyone stealing water, for lack of better terms, please, we'll share our contact numbers with you shortly. But obviously, we're available on social media, Twitter at Lagos Water, and Instagram with the same. So water is life, like you mentioned, and we are keen to provide this service to all Lagosians.
Thank you very much. Access to potable water here in Lagos is no longer a mirage. We've been talking to Mr. Mukhtar Tijani, the Managing Director, Lagos State Water Corporation, and we've been talking about provision of potable water here in Lagos State, City of Excellence. Now we'll go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.